You are live.
The woods can be dense for our acts. The sea can be deep for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everyone. It is January 6th. Good morning, Brenda. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Yeah, Brenda, I saw that you had the post today. It said, post me your last um, inspirational post or something like that. So I was going through mine. I'm like, well, I stole most of these from her. So I didn't have any to give you. So, but good morning, everybody. It's good to see everyone. Hope everybody's having a good day. You guys, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. We all have stuff that's just happening, right? Life is life's terms, and we need to tackle those with surprising vigor, right? But some days we just don't have that vigor. Some days we don't. I know I don't. There's some days where I'm just like, you know what? I'm done with all this. And when I say that, I don't mean AA and recovery. I talk about the work that I do. And it could be very frustrating, right? And we want to give up. Okay, but don't give up. Don't you do it. Call me. Call somebody. Or you guys, what's even better? If you know somebody is struggling because you can see it because you're empathic, or you just know because you're in the program, reach out, man. If today is one of your better days, then you need to pass on your energy to somebody else like they did for you the other day when you wanted to quit, right? So, what we do is we take that wheel of insanity and we turn it into good, and we feed each other and keep each other emotionally healthy. Okay. And that's what it's about. It's what it's all about. Us helping each other do the things that we need to do. Right? So, yeah, take that extra 5 minutes today for somebody else. And Jill and I were talking earlier, and we're following Rule 62 today, right? So don't take yourself too damn seriously. So let's get started with today's daily reflection. We perceive that only through utter defeat are we able. I don't have my books down here. Okay. We perceive that only through utter defeat are we able to take our first steps towards liberation and strength. Our admissions of personal powerlessness finally turn out to be the firm bedrock upon which happy and purposeful lives may be built. I have to run upstairs to get my book. Brenda, if you could sing to everybody while I'm gone, that'd be awesome. I'll do it. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. My oh my, what a wonderful day. Love me a sunshine coming my way. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. It is the truth. It's factual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity doo dah, zippity a. Wonderful feelings. Wonderful day. There you go. All right, what page was this on? 21. Thanks, Brenda. All right, page 21. And talking and singing take a lot out of me, man. Who cares to admit complete defeat? Practically no one. Of course, every natural instinct cries out against the idea of personal powerlessness. It is truly awful to admit that, glass in hand, we have warped our minds into such an obsession for destructive drinking that only an act of providence can remove it from us. No other kind of bankruptcy is like this one, and that's true. And to this day, it is still true. Okay? No other disease is like this one. Alcohol, now becoming the rapiest creditor, bleeds us of self-sufficiency and all will to resist its demands. Once this stark fact is accepted, our bankruptcy as going human concerns is complete. But upon entering AA, we soon take quite another view of this absolute humiliation. We perceive that only through utter defeat are we able to take our first steps towards liberation and strength. Our admission of personal powerlessness finally turns out to be the firm bedrock upon which happy and purposeful lives can be built. So your powerlessness is your power, right? Okay? We're going to turn it into your power, your superpower, or whatever we need to do, right? I'm not going to apologize for being in a weird mood. I almost did that. Let's go on a little bit before I get into that. We know that a little good can come to any alcoholic who joins an AA unless he has first accepted his devastating weakness and all of its consequences. You guys, I got to let you know, okay? It's not your fault, okay? And I tell new people this all the time. If somebody has a problem with it, well, we'll talk, right? It's not your fault. You have a disease, okay? You have one of the only diseases that tells you you do not have a disease. Okay, one of the only in that case, because there's several diseases that tell you that. Unfortunately, those are trauma switches that, and that'd be way off topic. So, until he so humbles himself, his sobriety, if any, will be precarious. Of happiness, he will find none at all. Proof beyond doubt by an immense experience, this is one of the facts of AA life. The principle that we shall find no enduring strength until we first admit complete defeat is the main taproot from which our whole society has sprung and flowered. And that is not just true for AA, it is true for pretty much any kind of recovery step or system that you're going to go through. Okay, you're still going to do the work. Okay. Just like I was saying, this isn't your fault, right? But we're still going to do the work. We still got to take responsibility for our actions. Okay. So find out where you want to do your work. That's okay. AA may not be it, but don't go around saying AA ain't it. Okay. Because then we will have a different problem. Pick on my A. It's my cult. You can't have it. When first challenged to admit defeat, most of us revolted. Why wouldn't you? What are you talking about? Because our minds up here have been telling us how great we are and everything else. Now, of course, on the flip side, then we could flip that over. We're the worst people in the world. See, we don't even know anymore what we are. So to admit, especially when you get older, to admit that you have no clue as to who you actually are is probably the biggest hump that you will get over. And if you've done it, good on you, man. We had approached AA expecting to be taught self-confidence. You're going to be taught it. Sure. Just not in the way you think. Then we have been told that so far as alcohol is concerned, self-confidence was no good whatsoever. In fact, it was a total liability. We're not going to be using your self-confidence for alcohol anymore. We're going to be using our self-confidence to bolster the good things that we're doing. Later, our sponsors declared that we were victims of a mental obsession so subtly powerful that no amount of human willpower could break it. Absolutely none. None. I'd never seen anybody pull it off. There was, they said, no such thing as a personal conquest of the compulsions by the unaided will. So they said that you're not going to do this alone. You can't do it alone. Right? Shouldn't do it alone. Why would you want to do it alone? Oh, because you're scared. Because you have fear. Well, I thought you were this self-confident person. If you're so self-confident, then why don't you just go ahead and tell me all about yourself? I love this program. The tyrant alcohol wielded a double-edged sword over us. First, we were smitten by an insane urge that condemned us to go on drinking, and then by an allergy of the body that ensured we would ultimately destroy ourselves in the process. Few indeed were those who, so assailed, had ever won through a single-handed combat. It was a statistical fact that the alcoholic almost never recovered on their own resources. And this had been true apparently ever since man first crushed grapes. When alcohol influenced every facet of my life, one second, guys. When alcohol influenced every facet of my life, when bottles became the symbol of all my self-indulgence and permissiveness, when I came to realize that by myself I could do nothing to overcome the power of alcohol, I realized I had no recourse except surrender. In surrender, I found victory. When I stopped fighting anybody or anything, I started on the path to sobriety, serenity, and peace. I remember when I made the decision that I was no longer in charge, that I no longer wanted to be or even have the thought of playing God anymore. But I also knew what kind of freedom came with that because I had been through the steps before. So it was something that I was really looking forward to. I was happy that when I finally got to a place where I was just like, I don't know anymore. I was so happy because then I could just, in a sense, not necessarily give up, but let go. Okay. Not give up, but let go. I didn't have to fight anymore. I'm a fighter, man. Right. So, when it came, now people are like, yeah, you get angry, you get mad. I still hear it in my voice sometimes. So I don't know how people, but I'm not that person anymore. I was talking to my sponsee yesterday, and I call this the asshole syndrome. Okay, we all do it. We were the number one asshole, right? Weren't we all? Or we were a bitch, or we were the C word. I don't say that word. So we were whatever. But the problem was I got into the program and I kept calling myself an asshole. I stopped. I one day I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not an asshole. I'm actually a pretty nice guy. And I'd like to be that nice guy. So that's what I did. And I don't call myself names anymore. Sometimes I might on accident, but then you know what I do to myself? I make amends. Yeah, make amends to yourself. Yeah. If you're a dick to yourself, apologize, dude. You don't need to treat yourself that way. All right. That's going to be it for today, guys. If you're the person like me today who has a little bit more than I usually have in the feeling of recovery, then we take that extra and we pass it on. All right. I love you guys. Have a great day. I hate it when I say have a great day because then it ruins the whole end part. But have a day. I love you guys. I do.